Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to learn about measurement, predictors, and criteria for the selection process. Surely a lot of you have heard about the word measurement before. Measurement can mean a lot of things to different people, but today we're going to concentrate on the psychological and psychometric definition of the word measurement. Moerdijk explains measurement as a set of rules for assigning symbols to objects to represent quantities of the attributes numerically or define whether the objects or phenomenon fall into the same or different categories with respect to the attributes concerned. Measurement further involves applying clearly stated rules to determine how much of a certain property, characteristic, or attribute is present in a particular object, person, system, or process. So now measurement is divided into 4 levels. We have nominal data, which is used to indicate membership of a class or category. Then we further have ordinal data, which places objects in ranks so that they can be graded against each other. And then we have interval data, which is the size of the difference between objects. And then in this case, there's no absolute zero in the type of data. The last one is ratio data, which is similar to interval data, but there's always an absolute zero. Measurement further has the following scales. We have absorptive scale, which present an alternative format. Absorptive measures are also referred to as force choice techniques. It presents respondents with options of equal desirability, thus the responses are less likely to be confounded by social desirability. It compares an object with itself. We therefore have normative scale, which usually present one statement at a time and allows respondents to indicate the level of agreement they feel with that statement on a scale of usually 5-point scale. A normative measurement compares an object with a group or other object. Properties of a good measurement. It will attach an observable phenomenon. There will be correspondence between two phenomena. The observable phenomenon will be scalable. There will be relative consistency between the two phenomena when the temperature is at a certain level. Because the rules are transparent and consistently applied, different observers will be able to agree on the value assigned to the phenomenon. Identify criteria and predictors for selection. Moerdijk defines selection as the process of matching people to job requirements in order to meet organizational objectives, both current and in the longer term. As part of this process, a wide range of attributes is assessed. This includes things such as knowledge, ability or aptitude, personality, potential, leadership, learning style, management style, and communication style. Cooper, Robertson, and Tinline are of the opinion that selection has 4 functions, namely information gathering, prediction, decision making, and information supply. Companies do not just do a selection process for fun. They do this so that they can get the most suitable candidates for the right job. The criteria for the selection process. According to Gatewood, Field, and Barrick, the kind of behavior and performance on the job to be expected from prospective employees may be assessed or determined through the application of criterion measures, such as criterion measures are used to evaluate the predictors used to forecast performance during the selection process. We have objective production data, which tends to be physical measures of work. An example of objective production data may be the number of goods produced, amount of scrap left, and dollar sales. Personal data. An applicant's personal information can serve as an important criterion measure. Personal records and files containing such information on the applicant may be looked at. Tendencies about the applicant, such as absenteeism, may be revealed. When assessing people for selection, the following 5-stage process should be implemented. You firstly describe the tasks that need to be completed by the person by compiling a job description or post profile. Competencies and abilities for the job should be clearly specified. You describe the characteristics or competencies required by the person in the job for satisfactory performance in the job. This is termed the person specification or the person profile. You translate these attributes and competencies into selection criteria. You then assess the individual on the various techniques devised. At lower levels of the organization, this may take the form of one-day assessment session. At more senior levels, various forms of assessment centers may be appropriate. Then you score the assessment and decide on the best candidate for the job. This assumes that various decisions have been made regarding cut-off scores. The 6th stage that is often ignored in the selection process is the follow-up. This is both short and long-term. Short-term follow-up include the setting-in phase and the induction process, while longer-term follow-up includes aspects such as the development, retention, and promotion of the person. This is the part of the validation of the selection process. Now we move over to the predictors for selection. Gatewood et al. Provides that there are various predictors when it comes to the selection process. These predictors can be used to forecast employees' performance. The predictors are discussed below. Background information. It will really be great help if the background information about the applicant is known. Such information may be collected through the use of application forms, reference checks, and biographical data questionnaires. Applicants can be asked to describe and to give their previous work histories through application forms. Reference checks can also be made by contacting few individuals that can comment on the applicant's characteristics, personality, ability, or even background. This is just to verify the information that the applicant gave about themselves. Then we have interviews. In the case of interviews, we may use interviews to collect additional information about the applicant, where the responses will be used to assess and determine if the applicant is the most suitable candidate for the job. This will help to assess if the applicant is a relevant fit to the organization. Then we also have tests. There are a variety of tests that can be used during the selection process in order to determine the most suitable candidates. For instance, aptitude or ability test may be used to predict the applicant's performance potential in specific parts of a job. Achievement test may also be used to assess the applicant's proficiency, while personality test may be used to identify individuals that are more likely to be hard workers and cope better on the job. All these different tests play different roles and will assist in the decision making of hiring the most relevant and suitable candidates. I hope this information helps. I thank you.